Oh, welcome back everybody to another video on the channel. This one's a Valorant video again, but we are not doing a guide this time. Today we are talking about the new patch that nerfed Chamber. This just came out, I think August 9th of 2022. So this is absolutely huge. He got hit really hard, and I'm gonna first go over every detail of the nerf, and then at the end of the video I'm going to go over my personal opinions on the nerf and hopefully spark some conversation down in the comments, because I want to get talking with you guys. I want to see what your opinions are. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, starting off with the Rendezvous. This is your teleporter. Its range has been significantly reduced. The diameter has gone from a ring of 21 meters to a ring of 15 meters. So if you guys remember from my Pearl setup video, I placed this teleporter right here on this line along this kind of middle section here. And I used to be able to stand right out to here, no problem. And I'd be able to see through, take all the shots I needed, and get out no problem. Now it only reaches to about here, so you can't see anything with that. So there are a few setups that I've done in my previous videos that are no longer possible, and I might have to redo or maybe do some shorts on some new setups for you guys. But nonetheless, this one's really hard nerf. Again, I'll talk about my opinions on it later on, but moving right on, its base cooldown has also been increased, from 20-second cooldown to a 30-second cooldown. Now this is the base cooldown, which means the cooldown of when you activate it. Obviously I have infinite abilities on right now, but you would see that it goes up to 30 seconds. Now the recall cooldown has also been increased, to 30 seconds as well from the previous 20 seconds, so it's the same amount of time as when you use your recall versus when you recall. So unfortunately, it means you'll be able to use them significantly less often. That 10 seconds is going to make a huge impact on the game, and you're really going to have to be more careful with your setups. Now, whenever your Rendezvous gets destroyed, when the enemies shoot at it, the cooldown is now set to 45 seconds. They don't list what the previous one was. I'm not sure if it was different from the other cooldowns. I've never really paid enough attention to that. But now it is a 45-second cooldown when it is destroyed. So you really want to make sure you can recall these before they get broken. Otherwise, that really hits you hard for the rest of the game. So essentially, the devs are saying the goal of this nerf is to make him have to take space with a little bit more effort, because right now he can be way more aggressive than they intended. So by reducing the radius and increasing those cooldowns, you have to be a lot more careful with it, and thus you're not going to be able to sit in as risky of areas as you previously could. Alright, moving on to your trap. Its slow duration has been decreased from 9.5 seconds to now 6 seconds. That's 3.5 less seconds of slow field anytime it shoots at someone. Now again, I'll get into opinions on this later, but I have some strong ones on this, so stick around so we can have that chat. But basically, whenever someone gets hit with it, the slow duration isn't going to last quite as long. So you're going to have less time to react to your slow field actually hitting someone, and by the time you get there, depending on where you set it up, there's a good chance you won't be able to capitalize off the slow. Alright, on to his ultimate, the Tour de Force. His ultimate points required has been increased from 7 to 8. So you can see right down at the bottom where my ultimate is, you can see there's 8 little diamonds now. There used to only be 7. This means that you need to get more kills or one more kill, one more ultimate orb, that kind of thing, in order to actually get your ultimate. So it's going to be a little bit harder. You're not going to get it quite as often in the game. I don't think this will hit him too hard. I think it'll still be fine. In addition to this nerf on his ultimate, there is also the same slow duration decrease as there was on the Trademark. So again, when you shoot someone and it kills them, it's going to leave that slow field. This is going to be 6 seconds long instead of the previous 9.5 seconds. So again, it's not going to last quite as long. I don't think it hits this ability quite as hard as it does on the Trademark, but I think it's a good nerf to bring down his power on his ultimate. In addition to this, I'm not going to spit the numbers at you, but the multiplier for his leg shots has gone down, so now a full armor, full health enemy is going to survive a shot to the leg. So just keep that in mind when you're aiming your Tour de Force. I mean, you should always be aiming for the torso on Ops and Tour de Force, but just keep in mind that if you hit anyone in the legs, it's not quite going to do that one-shot kill that you'd like. Alright, so the final nerf we're going to talk about is the Headhunter ability. This is his Q, pistol. The only nerf it has received is a bullet cost increase from 100 credits to 150 credits. Now this is going to have a huge impact, especially on his pistol rounds, and it's going to make you have to think a little harder about every decision you make. So, starting on pistol round, my go-to used to be a Trademark and 6 shots to my Headhunter. You just lost 2 shots. So now you can't even take out the full team if you have perfect accuracy. So if you're not going to consistently hit your headshots, it might be better to go with something like the Frenzy or the Shorty to just get some weird little off angles and take people out like a rat instead. Or you can just take your full shots and your classic. This is what I'm going to do. Take a Trademark, 4 shots, classic. That's a good go-to. You can take your ranged fights and then you can whip out your classic when you need to. So this change and the ultimate point change on Tour de Force is specifically focused at making chamber players think a little harder about their economy. So on pistol rounds and save rounds, they're going to actually have to think a little harder as to what you use and what you're going to save for later. Alright, so now to talk my opinion on the matter. Personally, I think the nerf to the teleport is really good. It's the thing that makes him a little closer to a duelist, and that nerf is going to help bring him down to a less aggressive player and a little bit more into the Sentinel class. I'm not too upset with it personally. I do think it was a little heavy, but really it's hard to tell without actually having a chance to play it much. So we'll see how it goes, and then I can update you guys in the future on how I feel about this change. The Trademark, I'm kind of upset about this one, as his Trademark is already really easy to get past, super easy to destroy. It takes that second before it actually activates, so people can react and take it out quite fast, or even just avoid it altogether. So I think the slow duration decrease, A, hits him quite hard, and B, it unfortunately nerfs a part of his kit that makes him more of that Sentinel, so it kind of takes away some of his class definition. Moving on to the Tour de Force, I think this is totally reasonable. It was really strong. I have no qualms with the ultimate point increase and the slow duration decrease. This is totally fine. Theoretically, you shouldn't need too many seconds of slow duration because you're just going to be killing the entire team real quick. That's kind of the point of Tour de Force. You can take a lot of shots very quickly with it. I'm glad they didn't nerf the speed. But the leg damage decrease is really good. It means you actually have to try a little harder. The slow duration decrease, again, makes you put a little more thought into your shots. But overall, very good nerf. No complaints there. As for the Headhunter ability, I think it's within reason. I personally would have liked to have the old cost stay the same, but that's just because I'm selfish and I really like using the Headhunter. But it is going to make the game a little bit more challenging for chamber players, and they're going to have to use their brain more often, which I am really good with my economy anyway, so I think I'll be fine. I worry for some of the chamber players that lean really heavily and crutch on the ability cost. So let me know how you feel about all these changes down in the comment section. I really want to have a good chat with all of you. So if you have any opinions, or if you even want to just talk about why you think my opinion is right or wrong, feel free to leave it down there. I will get back to my comments, no problem. Without further ado, have a lovely rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, and night. Bye-bye.